Big news that we're tracking this hour. The Ministry of Civil Aviation has imposed strict fare caps on all airlines operating on routes affected by IndiGo's ongoing operational disruption, citing unusually high airfares as opportunistic pricing. An official directive mandates immediate compliance with prescribed upper limits until normalcy is restored. The move aims to shield distressed passengers, especially senior citizens, students and patients who have financial burden due to the crisis. The ministry will monitor real-time fare data in coordination with airlines and online travel agencies, promising swift action against violations. The intervention underscores the government's commitment to pricing discipline and passenger protection in times of airline distress. Along with this, there is a special passenger support and refund cell has also been made to ensure seamless grievance redressal. IndiGo has been instructed to set up dedicated passenger support and refund facilitation cells. In a special move to assure baggage handling, the ministry has directed IndiGo to ensure that all baggage that was separated from passengers due to cancellations or delays is traced and delivered to the passenger's residential or chosen address within the next 48 hours. Air travel across India was in turmoil for the fifth day today after many flights got cancelled or delayed again. In a bid to improve air travel safety, Indian authorities have introduced new stricter regulations limiting pilot flying times and placing tighter restrictions on their operation of nighttime flights. But IndiGo admitted it failed to plan properly ahead of a November 1st deadline for the measure's introduction. With air travel now approaching its December peak, that has forced widespread flight cancellations this week that have stranded thousands of travellers. A large number of passengers are facing inconvenience across the country. Now, Air India has taken steps to ensure affordability in air travel by capping economy class airfares on their non-stop domestic flights. The decision was taken to prevent the usual demand and supply driven fare hikes generated by automated revenue management systems. The airlines issued the statement after screenshots of unusually high last-minute fares. According to Air India, it is technically not possible to cap every possible fare permutation involving stopovers or mixed cabins. However, the airlines are engaging with third-party platforms to ensure greater oversight and prevent inflated pricing. The spokesperson added that both Air India and Air India Express are working to increase flight capacity in order to help travellers and their baggage reach their destinations as swiftly as possible. And with the mass cancellation of flights by IndiGo and fares of other airlines skyrocketing, Indian Railways has come to the rescue, added 116 extra coaches to 37 trains, mostly in Southern Railway, Northern and Western Railway. The coaches included 2-tier, 3-tier and chair car AC coaches. More coaches would be added to trains heading to other destinations soon. The official said the berths would be allotted on a first-come, first-served basis, as the reservation for these extra coaches were not accessed to the computerized reservation system yet. In total, the arrangements are expected to handle 35,000 passengers per day, ensuring connectivity for nearly 26 lakh passengers during this period. All right, Shubhendu Ghosh has been tracking this story. He is joining us live from the newsroom. Hi, Shubhendu. What's the situation on the ground right now? The Ministry of Civil Aviation has ordered a high-level inquiry into the entire crisis.
Hello, Abhishek. Yes, Government of India is keeping a close track on the crisis emanating out of the IndiGo flight operation disruptions and thousands of passengers who are stranded across different parts of the country who were supposed to take IndiGo Airlines. It's day 5 of the crisis. The government has stepped in with a number of steps. First, those reforms, the FDTL reforms, flight duty time limitation reforms, that were at the heart of this IndiGo crisis. IndiGo appeared unprepared to be able to accommodate a reform that was initially aimed at ensuring that pilot fatigue, crew fatigue can be addressed. But IndiGo, although this reform had been introduced more than a year ago, it was implemented on 1st of November. Now it lies in abeyance. But IndiGo, with its top operation being the largest domestic airline in the country, was completely caught off guard with the kind of expectations it would have, resulting in thousands of flight cancellations. Remember, IndiGo flies over 2,200 flights at an average every day, having 65% of the aviation market, domestic aviation market in the country. So even 10% disruption results in over 200 flights getting cancelled. And that really explains for the past about 4 or 5 days, thousands of passengers stranded at different major airports across the country. Now, the steps that the government has come out with, first, of course, putting that policy in abeyance, giving time to IndiGo to step up its own staff and administration system. Second, it is also observed that certain peak pricing, unusually high pricing, was observed amidst this crisis to make sure that passengers are not inconvenienced, that financial exploitation does not take place at a delicate time like this. These are winters, people take break for vacations, for festivities, they travel across the country. So passenger air traffic increases significantly around this time of the year. At a time like this, a crisis like this does impact passengers' convenience significantly. So the government has put a strict cap on the pricing of, particularly on the routes where unusually high pricing has been observed. Second, it has given some strict directions to IndiGo. For the flights that have been cancelled, it must refund the amount to the passengers, the ticket price to the passengers. There's a strict timeline. By evening tomorrow, Sunday, 7th December, IndiGo must be able to refund all the money. Also, there are stories of IndiGo having taken the baggage for air travel, but the flight got cancelled or got delayed indefinitely, and passengers are not able to access their own baggage. Even for that, the government has said within 48 hours, all such grievances must be addressed. The Delhi airport has just given out an update saying that although slowly, but normalcy is slowly returning at the Delhi airport, although IndiGo flights in particular continue to face disruptions. The head of IndiGo, in fact, has said that given the nature of the disruption and the scale, there's not going to be any easy or a short-term solution. It will take time to about February next year when the flight services normalize. But for now, it is the passengers who are bearing the brunt of this crisis, Abhishek.
Passengers are bearing the brunt, and Railway has stepped in, apart from various advisories by the civil aviation. But Shubhendu, like you also said, with air travel now approaching its December peak, that has forced widespread flight cancellations this week, stranded thousands of passengers, travelers. But how do airlines plan to handle this situation in the coming days?
IndiGo on its part has said it will do what it can, given that the policy that had sort of catalyzed the situation has been put in abeyance for now. IndiGo says that's a positive sign. It will do what it can to restore the normal operations. Meanwhile, other airlines are stepping up. They're introducing more flights for the ease of the passengers, particularly on those routes where IndiGo operates multiple airlines and multiple cancellations have happened. We mentioned, of course, about attention turning to the Indian Railways in absence of flight services, in absence of tickets being more expensive than one can afford. Passengers are resorting to train travel at the moment, but advisories have also been given out to passengers, particularly those planning to catch an IndiGo flight. Before they leave their homes, they must check carefully for the updates that have been now sent. Government has said that IndiGo must give all the updates, timely updates to the passengers. If the flight is cancelled, they should avoid heading to the airport. If they are heading to the airport, they must carry essential items with them because they must brace for delays. And the government has also instructed IndiGo and other airlines that the sensitive, vulnerable sections of population, students, senior citizens, people with health issues, should be given particular attention. And passenger inconvenience is something that all airlines must be very mindful of. But it is an evolving situation at the moment, Abhishek.
Also, to add to that, Shubhendu, it's better for the passengers to reach the airport a little early. We'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest on that story, Shubhendu.